After Spider-Man's identity is exposed to the whole world, his whole life gets affected by the decision he made. Aunt May gets shot by a hitman who was hired by Kingpin, and she is in a critical condition. Unable to understand what to do next, Peter then encounters the demon Mephisto, who offers to save May's life in an exchange of Peter and MJ's marriage. So the couple agree to give up their marriage to save Aunt May's life. But what really happened on Peter and MJ's wedding day? Let's find out in today's video of The Amazing Spider-Man, One Moment in Time. So if you guys are new here, please subscribe and turn on all the notifications to never miss any future uploads. Please like, comment and share. All the text and images are owned by its suspected company. You can support them by purchasing it digitally or from any offline stores. The issue opens up with a flashback where MJ whispers to Mephisto, demands him to put Peter's life back just as it was, giving him a chance of becoming happy in his life. So Mephisto agrees to leave Peter alone the rest of his days. Time jumps to the present day where MJ shows up at Peter's door, offering him a bottle of wine, and she came here to talk with Peter and solve the misunderstanding between them. They want to be friends with each other, just like the old days. So they start to talk about what really happened on their wedding day. Spidey is swinging in his black costume, and then he notices some criminals are managed to break free Electro from the police custody, and they are wreaking havoc in the streets. One of Electro's goons, Eddie, is about to shoot an officer, but before he does that, Spidey waves him up to a lamppost, and minutes later, he captures all the criminals, including Electro, and leaves them for the cops. A cop puts Eddie into their car, but then a red pigeon appears and it mysteriously enters inside the car and unlocks all the doors, allows Eddie to escape the police, and that bird was actually the demon Mephisto. Meanwhile, MJ is so much happy about her upcoming marriage, but Peter is getting worried as in his nightmare, he sees Spider-Man and MJ are getting married. All the heroes as well as the villains attend their marriage. Uncle Ben, Aunt May and Gwen are also there, and they are happy for Peter. But then, the villains attack the heroes and capture them, and soon they overwhelm Peter. And as they are about to murder MJ, Peter wakes up with a scream. So to clear his mind, he arrives outside, thinking about Gwen and his current love, MJ. But then he hears a gunfire from a nearby place, and he quickly rushes to investigate the matter. And soon, Spidey notices Eddie, who is attacking a police officer on a rooftop. As Eddie came here to kill the officer who put him in jail, the cop is running with his life, and as Eddie raises his gun and about to kill the officer's wife, Spider-Man interferes and disarms him, and as he gets distracted, Eddie throws a cinder block at Spidey's head and runs from that place. The stunned Spidey then gives a chase, and right at the time, Eddie slips away from the edge of a building. Peter quickly catches him in the midair, but they both fall to the ground, which Spidey absorbs most of the impact. The next morning, on the wedding day, everyone gathers at the city hall. MJ also arrives, but there is no sign of Peter. MJ tries to get Peter on her cell phone. Everyone is starting to talk about Peter, blaming him for his careless attitude. And then MJ overhears Harry and Flash, who are talking on how they are not surprised that Peter didn't show up, as he had lots of doubts, which angers MJ, and she yells at Harry to go to hell. On the other side, Eddie wakes up and he finds that Spidey saved his life, so he decides not to kill him this time. He lands a kick at Spidey's face and leaves. Hours later, Peter wakes up and he finds that he misses his wedding as he was lying unconscious. Peter then calls MJ, but she doesn't answer. In anger, Peter smashes his cell phone and he swings over all the places to find MJ, but they are all empty. The The depressed Peter then arrives at his apartment, going unconscious. But there he finds MJ sitting on his couch, crying in her wedding dress. Peter tries to explain everything, but MJ shuts him down and tells him to talk without the mask. And as Peter removes his mask, MJ sees his bruised face. She breaks into tears and tells Peter she can't take it anymore. She loves him so much, but she doesn't want to be Spider-Man's wife, but Peter's. Every time Spider-Man comes between them, it making their lives miserable. So MJ begs Peter to give up Spider-Man's life and be happy with her, but Peter refuses. He can't. Driven by rage and anger, MJ calls Peter a bastard. She throws the mask in his face and storms out. MJ tries her best to reduce the pain. She goes for a lunch with her Aunt Anna, but she knows MJ very well that she can't be happy without Peter. Anna tells MJ what Peter did was surely wrong, but that doesn't change the fact that Peter is still a good man. After a long days of thinking, MJ finally shows up at Peter's door. He lets her in, but his whole room is a total mess. Peter tries to explain about his absence on the wedding day, but MJ stops him and says she wants kids. She always imagined them having kids, but now she realized it can't be possible. She would never bring a child into a life like this. She then mentions her abusive father, and she doesn't want the same fate for her child. She knows all Peter is doing to save innocent lives from the criminals, but Spider-Man is as dangerous as a loaded gun. So finally, MJ convinces Peter to never ask her to marry him again, not unless he's prepared to give up the Spider-Man. So they decide to continue their romance without the marriage. But their happiness doesn't last long, as when May gets shot and admitted in the hospital, her survival is informed by a disguised Mephisto to Wilson Fisk, and he sends a hitman after Aunt Anna. But before he can take her life, MJ interferes and she becomes the target of the hitman. After chasing her, the criminal finally catches her, but before he can take MJ's life, Spider-Man shows up and saves MJ, and it reveals the hitman to be Eddie. Spidey brings the wounded MJ to Doctor Strange and he requests him to use his magic and make everyone forget he is Spider-Man. So to discuss on this matter, Strange contacts Tony and Reed as they are partially responsible for Peter's identity becoming public in the Civil War event. So finally, they both agree to help Peter and they decide nobody, including themselves, will remember anything about Peter's identity. So Strange uses his magic, but during that moment, Peter pulls MJ along with him, so she will not forget about his identity. But as everything settles down, MJ asks Peter why he couldn't just let her forget, as it's only a matter of time before someone rips off his mask and they go after her family, and it really scares her. And then the ring bells and Mephisto shows up. The demon forces the two to accept the offer. He can bring his aunt back to life in an exchange of their marriage. Peter refuses to do that, but MJ tells Peter to save his aunt, and she assures him that there is no power in the universe that can able to separate them. Not the demon, not God, not anyone. As a result, May survives, and the two go along with their own lives. Back in the present day, MJ tells Peter he has to move on and find someone who can be with him. Peter then hugs MJ and he realizes the best person he has ever known has set him free. Now he can face anything in his life. Today feels like a brand new day. And with that, the one moment in time of the Amazing Spider-Man comes to a close. So which part you like the most? Please share your thoughts on the comment section down below. And please like this video and do subscribe, as this will motivate me to make more contents. Thank you so much for watching. Everyone stay safe and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.